Okay. Kai Search has been upgraded.
I see.
You can now in combat launch a Kai Blast.
Which is?
Well, it means that it costs 4 endurance points, but does that instead of rolling damage like normally, though the enemy still has to do that, you roll damage by rolling the die twice, adding them together, and then that's how much damage you do. As you can see, that could be incredibly useful against tough opponents because you'll be able to dish out more damage than you normally would, although it costs.
I've just added roll die at cost of 4 endurance and what more?
Roll die twice at cost of 4 endurance.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just need to tell me if you want to use that for a round. As you can also probably figure out, it has a very varying damage rate, ranging from 2 to 20. So that...
Yeah.
Okay. Telegnosis has been upgraded, and yeah, you actually managed to predict this ability. I think I remember you. So yeah, congratulations on you guys. You actually saw this coming.
And it actually does what again?
You can now alter your body weight. You can now walk on water.
Oh. We did talk about that at some point, I think.
Or mud, or lava, or quicksand, or whatever you want to.
Air?
You can't fly yet.
Can I also add quicksand, I assume?
Yes, quicksand is actually on the list. Of the things that could be, for example.
So, with a bit of concentration, we can walk across lava and quicksand and...
Oh great, we are not gonna be mildly inconvenienced by quicksand.
Yep. Also, Magi magic has been upgraded.
With new spells, I assume?
Yep. You have now learned the spell Penetrate.
Ooh,
I see.
I'm sorry, but with this book's... With all the images we have gotten from this book, that sounded dirty.
If you could combine spells, then you'd be able to use Penetrate along with Flame Shaft for extra efficiency.
Sure,
For goodness sake.
Sure, Bainton would love that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bainton,
dear.
we need to test a new spell. Can we please see you in the audience hall?
Yeah, and then the next spell you'll learn is Energy Grasp.
Okay, then that sounds interesting. Are we just pulling energy from the nether or something like that?
It basically allows you to shock people by touching them.
Excuse me, you were cutting in line. No, it wasn't. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh great. We have now learned to rub our feet repeatedly on the carpet.
Oh, God damn it.
In any case, Grandmaster's Wisdom. Northern Magador, with borders upon the Moken Gorge, is a notoriously wild and treacherous region. Be wary and on your guard at all times, for you can expect little help from the outlaws and fell creatures who dwell in this area. Blah 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 blah, may the light of kindly cheer be your guide as you venture into the unknown. For someone on Amthakai. Huzzah. The hours leading up to your departure from the Kai Monastery are spent in the company of your able advisor, Lord Rimoa. Having discussed the mission at great length, you busy yourself now with the practical preparations for your long journey to Magador. He gives you a scroll which contains a written invitation from President Kadarian to attend his senate to discuss trade between Sumlud and Magador. It will provide a cover for you should the need arise to justify your journey.
I will just be adding that.
It's a special item, so you just shove it into your massive belt.
Let me see.
I'm starting to suspect we're wearing a girdle or something with all the things we can just stuff into it.
That might be the case, I wouldn't know. Also, in the interest of secrecy, you decide it best to discard your formal Kai robes in favor of a less conspicuous garments, and you choose instead to wear the simple clothes of a guildsman. Woolen breeches, leather tunic, and a cloak. Dressed thus, and aided by your innate Kai skills and invisibility, you feel confident you'll be able to travel the road to Helgor, the Magadorian capital, without drawing undue attention to yourself or your purpose. By horse, the journey to Helgor could be expected to take 5 weeks. Your initial thought had been to send word to your friend, Guildmaster Baindon, requesting that he allow you use of his magical sky ship Skyrider. However, on this occasion you will have to forego the speedy comfort of this wondrous craft, for Bainton is using it himself on a quest to a distant land of Banar in southern Magnamont, and he's not expected to return to Summerland before the year's end. Your second choice was also to prove unsuitable. Having resigned yourself to a long journey on horseback, you immediately sent an order to the monastery stables for your horse, Storm, to be saddled and made ready.
Wait, we have a horse with a name?
Yep.
Hey, being a guild leader has privileges, lady.
This fine Slovarian stallion had been a gift to you from Elector Manatine of Palmyrian in gratitude for the crucial part you played in the victory over the evil Xena Druids of Rule.
That would have been nice to see.
Well, you were just told.
But apparently Storm was not really feeling like taking us on any journey before now.
Well, you did take this.
Or maybe there's something blocking the route.
Well, the reason that it probably wasn't brought up before, besides that the writer probably didn't come up with it before now, also, we took the Skyship in the last couple of books, so that may be why. In any case, his strength, intelligence, and indomitable spirit had reminded you so much of your old kite tutor, Stormhawk, that you choose to name the horse Storm in his memory. But, as Remora quickly pointed out, such a magnificent horse would be sure to attract suspicion, especially if it was ridden by what appeared to be a humble guildsman. And so, albeit reluctantly, you had the stables prepare you another horse, a strong but less exceptional mount called Bracer.
Aha. So still a named horse, but not the Grand Master's horse.
Yep. The journey to Helgor takes you south to the city-state of Cashion, and then west to the Lyrian capital of Vereda, a road you once traveled several years ago during your Magna Kai quest. In the main, your ride is peacefully uneventful. Hey, if we are in this region of the world again, perhaps we can visit our good friend Rourke.
Yay!
And tie him into a pretzel while we're here. I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
Let me just remember, he was the guy who did the whole undead rising from the grave thing.
Yes, and killed a pal of yours, and then he summoned a demonic hound that then tried to kill you.
That guy.
Yep.
That guy who really can do nothing but trouble.
Yep. Yeah. In the main, your ride is peaceably uneventful. By choice, you keep to yourself and avoid staying too long in any one place. It is not until you reach Vakovar that the uncertain politics of this region give you cause for concern. This squalid, lawless city is home to some of the Stornland's most notorious criminals and robber barons. It is common knowledge for travelers who value their wealth and health. Wisely avoid Vakovar whenever possible. Forewarned by these rumors, you choose not to dwell here, but ride swiftly through the city and press on to Helgor. Yet, while you are within the city walls of Vakovar, no less than a dozen separate attempts are made to relieve you of your money, pouch, and horse. There are no witnesses to these attacks, which is just as well, for when you ride out of Vakovar, you leave a score of dead robbers littering the cobblestones.
Oh dear.
That totally does not sound like what, Sauron or a Sith Lord would do.
Well, they might have been trying to kill you while trying to steal your stuff.
Yeah,
That's what
so
they
it's
usually
like-
do.
So
No,
yeah, it
not
was...
necessarily. Not necessarily. I've actually heard of a robber who was rather clever with that. She would pretend to be a prostitute and drag them into an alley. Then she would have a little girl come up from behind and steal all their stuff and then leave.
Okay, that's actually smart in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that makes her a robber or a pickpocket or just a common thief.
I would probably more say a scam artist, and then the little girl is a pickpocket. It is early evening when you eventually crest a hill and catch your first disappointing glimpse of Helgor. It is a damp and unwholesome-looking city, ringed by a rampart of mouldering rubble, the remains of a curtain wall which was destroyed during the war against the Dark Lords. Through the many gaps in the rampart, you can see the thick fog that swirls through Helgor's brick streets and crooked, filthy alleys. At first sight, it seems that the Macedonian capital is little more than a beggar city, a vast hodgepodge of slums and hovels, but as you ride nearer, you notice several grand towers piercing with rolling grey mist. The main approach to Helgor is patrolled by presidential guards, heavily armed with crossbows and spears, who are checking everyone attempting to enter by road. They are dressed in flamboyant tunics of green scarlet and black calf hide, which seems too lavish for the garrison of such a squalid city. When asked your business, you show them the scroll given to you by Remoa. They are impressed by the invitation and insist that an armed escort be provided to take you directly to the president's palace. After your experience at Vakovar, you welcome their offer. Despite the overwhelming squalor of Helgor's dingy tenements and streets, You're expecting the President's Palace to be the exception. To your disappointment, it turns out to be a little more than a fortified chateau situated at the center of the city, atop a hill known as the Vanagrum Knoll. You are welcomed into the palace Senate Hall by an official called Stepona, a dour man who looks older than his 30 years. He sees to it that your horse is stabled and that you are given refreshments while you await your audience with the President. An hour passes before the doors to the Senate Hall swings open, and, without formal announcement, in strides President Kadarian of Magador.
And I hope there's a picture of the guy.
Immediately, you recognize the tall, muscular man who stands before you now. He was once known as the Slave Master of Ornak.
Ooh, that guy.
Yep.
Ah, that one.
He was an agent of the Elder Magi based in the Darklands who, 7 years earlier, helped you to enter the dread city of Helgedad and bring about the downfall of the Dark Lords. Now he is known by a different name. President Kadarian of Magador. Well, he's...
Hopefully this is a real title, not just something that he has for convenience for the sake of a mission.
Well, he certainly moved out in the world.
Yep.
And
True.
And wouldn't it be kind of hard to rule a whole city, possibly for years, just for one mission?
True.
Yep. Welcome, Grandmaster, he says, smiling warmly. It seems we've both come a long way since our last meeting. The President is amused by the expression of surprise and offers an explanation of how he came to be leader of this rough republic. After the fall of Helgedad, the Elder Magi arranged for his safe passage to the Stormlands, where he was granted a command in the army of Lyris. He distinguished himself in battle, and later, once the remains of the Darkland armies had been vanquished, he returned to his native Magador and led an uprising against King Vanagrum VI, who had long been a puppet of the Dark Lords. The revolt ended with the king's death and the abolition of the monarchy. Magador became a republic, and the Slave Master, whose given name was Kadarian, became its first elected leader. And now to the reason why I requested your help, Grandmaster, he says as he pushes open the door to a smaller room which adjoins the Senate Hall. You follow the President into the chamber, your footsteps echoing as you walk across the mosaic marble floor. At the far end of the room, a wiry wolfhound lies snoozing in front of a log fire, which is crackling in an iron grate.
Nice.
The flames illuminate the chamber with a warm glow, casting flickering shadows across countless shelves, stacked with thick rolls of parchment and papyrus. Is that how it's said in English?
Papyrus.
Papyrus. Okay. Sorry, just need a drink. At the center there stands a large table heaped with sand. The sand has been shaped to depict the topography of Magador, its towns, cities, mountains, hills, and rivers. The attention to detail is most impressive. Somewhere here, I fear, there is a great evil at work, says Kadarian, pointing to a section of the table which depicts the territory north of Lake Vondarol, an area uncomfortably close to the deep furrow which represents the Moken Gorge. 3 moons ago, the lakeside hamlet of Vorn was reportedly destroyed by an unnatural storm, the first of many that have continuously swept the region. I dispatched a troop of my guards to investigate, but they never returned.
Oops.
Since then, a second troop has also disappeared without a trace. But what makes you think that a plot to resurrect Vashna is afoot? You reply, trying not to sound overly skeptical. With due respect, President, this is a notorious region infested with renegades and brigands. There may be a far simpler explanation for the destruction of Vorn and the disappearance of your troops. Ay, 'tis so, retorts Kadarian. At first, I too made the same assumption, but then I came into the possession of something which made me believe otherwise. From a leather pouch hanging from his sword belt, Kadarian takes an item which is neatly wrapped in a square of patterned silk. Here, Grandmaster, he says, offering to you. I'll let you draw your own conclusions from this.